Hello, my name is Mike Nicholson. I'm Director of Recruitment, Admissions and Participation at the University of Cambridge, and I've been asked to talk to you about the International Baccalaureate Diploma and how it's recognised by universities in the UK. I've been involved with International Baccalaureate for many years. I've been working in university admissions since 1992, and I've worked at a number of different institutions, including the University of Essex, the University of Oxford, where I was Director of Undergraduate Admissions, and most recently the University of Bath, where I was also Director of Undergraduate Admissions. I'd like to talk a little bit about the type of student that the IB might appeal to. Firstly, it's a qualification that's going to demand good organisational skills. It's a very content-heavy qualification, so you won't find that you'll get many free periods if you're doing the IB Diploma, but you'll also find that many of the things that your friends may be doing as enrichment activities as part of an A-level will be covered within the structure of the IB Diploma. So for instance, you may have friends doing the extended project qualification. In the IB, you have to do something called the extended essay. That has a very similar length. It's a 4,000 word project as opposed to a 5,000 word project. But it is a research project. It requires the same skills and the same application of knowledge that you would be doing by doing an EPQ. You may find that your friends are doing things like the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Well, within the IB structure, the CAS, the Community Action Service element, will require you to do a range of activities that would duplicate the type of things you would do on the Duke of Edinburgh Award. In fact, you could do the D of E award as a contributing element towards your achieving the CAS. So I don't think you should feel that you're going to be at a disadvantage if you take the IB Diploma, but it will require you to have good time management skills. That in itself is not a bad thing, because you will find when you go to university, you will be probably left to manage your time more than you may be at school or college. And on that basis, getting used to it as part of doing the IB is not a bad thing. The IB as a qualification has been around for a long time, over 50 years. It's well recognised by universities, and the IB organisation who manage the IB Diploma programmes do a very good job in making sure that people in my role are kept informed about developments. They're very consultative in the way that they introduce any changes or reforms, and will always check with the universities to make sure it's not going to have any detrimental or unintended consequences on the likelihood of an IB student getting an offer. They tend to have long lead-in times of any changes as well, so if you're starting the IB now or within the next year, it'll be well known if there are any planned changes or significant reforms, and the college will have had plenty of time to make adjustments. To my knowledge, the most significant set of changes which were made about a year or two ago in relation to maths are now fully worked through, so there shouldn't be any surprises or things that they're going to throw you in your IB study. It's a broad qualification. Students normally take 6 subjects, 3 at higher level, 3 at standard level. I think when you're thinking about whether the IB is right for you, you need to recognise that you will be working across quite a wide range of disciplines. That, again, may make you more attractive to many universities, particularly students continuing with mathematics beyond the age of 16 can be really helpful for many degree programmes in the social sciences, life sciences, as well as those subjects like engineering, computer science, economics, where it might be a requirement to take maths beyond the age of 16 to be a competitive applicant. Also, the requirement for students to continue with modern languages can be incredibly opportune, provide all sorts of opportunities for students to maybe think about studying abroad or take joint degrees and keep their language skills up, or specialise, obviously, in a modern language at university. I would also commend to students the fact that it is a qualification that is global in its spec as well. So you will be looking at international and global issues, and when you say studying history, you won't just be studying the history of the United Kingdom, you'll be looking at world history, international history as part of your study. So it's an opportunity, I think, for you to maybe explore beyond the content that you've covered at GCSE, not just in the depth of study, but also the breadth of the subject you might be doing as well. Other things that you may want to reflect upon with the IB, It is a qualification that has evolved over time, but it doesn't evolve quickly. It tends to be very measured in the way that changes happen. Now, that's in part because it's not the responsibility of a particular government or nation to run the IB. So it isn't open to major political changes in ideology. It tends to be very robust and maintain standards very effectively over time. So again, concerns that you may have read about how A-level has changed over the last 5-10 years, the IB tends to be pretty robust in relation to those issues. It's also a very portable qualification. It's recognised globally, and for anybody who may be thinking about studying outside of the UK, it'll be a perfectly acceptable academic qualification, recognised as part of an admissions process for universities in North America, Europe, Far East, in fact pretty much anywhere in the world, because the IB is taught everywhere in the world. Finally, I think it's probably worth saying that most universities have pretty transparent requirements for IB students, and it is something you might want to be checking on at this stage before you commit to your choices of higher level and standard level subjects. There may be particular subjects you need to do at higher level to be competitive in applying to university. They tend to be in areas like mathematics, where you may have to pick a particular course in maths at higher level to be appropriately qualified for, say, an engineering degree. You may have to do particular sciences at higher level, whether you want to be going into something like medicine, or you might be looking at a particular science or technology or engineering degree. You may find that there are expectations as well around particular subject combinations. For modern foreign languages, you may have to take a particular higher level language, for instance, if you want to have advanced standing in the subject when you go to do your degree. But overall, it's a qualification that's generally very positively recognised by university admissions, and you shouldn't have any trouble on university websites finding out what the entry requirements might be for a particular course. To give you some sort of flavour of how things stand at the moment, Cambridge probably in the UK has the toughest requirements. They typically are asking for 41 points out of 45, and will want predominantly 7s at higher level, a couple 1-6 maybe as well. There will be someone like Oxford. Oxford looked and reviewed offer levels for the IB about 9-10 years ago now. They settled particularly between 38 and 40 points for most of their degree courses, and again, generally 7s and 6s at higher level. But if I take somewhere like the University of Bath, when I worked there initially, we were asking for 38, 40 points for some subjects. Now all courses at Bath require no more than 36 points overall out of 45, and again, they'll use 7s and 6s in the main at higher level. Just to give you a kind of broad equivalency, an A star at A level is normally seen as equivalent to a 7 at higher level in the IB. A 6 is equivalent to an A grade at A level, and a B grade at A level is normally equivalent to a 5 in your higher levels, just to give you a sort of sense of how these things pan out. Obviously, it's a big decision. You may have no friends at all from your current school who are thinking about taking the IB, but I think for many students, particularly those who are good all-rounders, students who may be looking to do joint degrees at university where they'll be combining subjects, or students who are just generally not sure about what they want to do, the IB keeps your options open in a very broad way, and I think you'll also find that you'll enjoy that mix of disciplines. So don't hesitate to ask colleagues at the college if you have any questions, and whatever you decide to do in your post-16 studies, I wish you every success.